Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles, and I welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. Today, we got a pretty interesting topic for you guys, so stick around and listen to what we got to say. We got some interesting stuff for you. But before we do that, make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Anyway, let me get into this topic here. So, there are a few major stories going on in the NBA right now. As we all know, preseason games are about to start. They're right around the corner. The NBA season is starting this month, right? And this has a lot of implications for some for some key players. On the one hand, we're looking at the drama between Ben Simmons and the Philadelphia 76ers. As you all know, Ben Simmons has made it clear he has no intention of ever playing another game with the Philadelphia 76ers again. That situation seems as if that has gone completely sour, completely sour. It seems as if daily now, because, training camp is back and all of these different things, you see Joel Embiid voicing his opinion daily, right? Now he's saying, the last time I listened to him, he said it almost seems like a slap in the face that Ben Simmons refuses to report to work and all of these different things. So we have that situation going on there. But on the other hand, there's another big story, and that big story is surrounding the vaccination status of Kyrie Irving. Now, what do we know about Kyrie Irving? Kyrie Irving, we all know that he's one of the most talented players of all time. I've said he's probably the best ball handler I've ever seen ever, one of the best finishers under the rim ever, one of the most clutch basketball players ever, given the fact that he did hit that big shot in Game 7 in the NBA Finals against the greatest team of all time that some people like to say was the Golden State Warriors at 2016, 2017 Golden State Warriors team, who went 73-9 that season. A lot of people say, this is the greatest team of all time. So if that's the greatest team of all time, then Kyrie Irving hit the greatest shot of all time, according to, what some of the people out there are saying. But back to Kyrie Irving off the court. Now, Kyrie has basically made his status about being vaccinated a bit ambiguous, right? Currently, today as we're doing this video, obviously this depends on when you're going to see this video, the NBA currently has a 95% vaccination rate. Just the other day it was 90%. I woke up, I saw this article, I believe it was on ESPN and other, media platforms are running this story. And they basically said that 95% of the players have been vaccinated, which basically means virtually almost all of them are vaccinated. But however, there's still some marquee name players out there that are still holding out. Obviously, we have, Wiggins with the Golden State Warriors. He hasn't gotten vaccinated. And of course, we have Kyrie Irving. For whatever reason, Kyrie Irving is picking up more headway than Wiggins, right? I don't know why. Maybe it's because he's on a championship contender. I don't know what it is, right? But Kyrie Irving seems to be a popular target for people to talk about in the media and all of these different things. And he's made it clear that, listen, he doesn't even want to talk about it. And recently he did an interview on, on Media Day from his home or wherever he was. And he made his thoughts clear when some of the reporters were trying to ask him some questions. So for those of you who missed some of Kyrie Irving's comments about being vaccinated, I want you guys to take a listen to some of the things that he had to say when questioned about it. So before we go too far, take a listen to that.
Honestly, I like to keep that stuff private, man. I'm a human being first, and obviously living in this public sphere, there's just a lot of questions about what's going on in the world of Kyrie, and I think I just would love to just keep that private and handle it the right way with my team and go forward together with a plan. So, obviously I'm not able to be present there today, but that doesn't mean that I'm putting any limits on the future of me being able to join the team. And I just want to keep it that way. So we can keep that private. And if anybody has any further questions about that, please, it'd be the same response. I would like to keep that private. And just please respect that.
Understanding you want to keep this private, and I do think there's, people should have privacy to a certain extent, but people are speculating about certain stances you have and that you're not going to be available to your team and that kind of thing. And just why don't you want to clear that up to some extent?
Yeah, please respect my privacy. Next question.
As in fans too? They also want to know, not just us.
Yeah, next question.
Now, in that soundbite, Kyrie Irving made a few things crystal clear. Number one, he isn't ready to get vaccinated, nor is he willing to talk about it publicly, right? Every time the guy kept on asking questions, he's like, can you respect my privacy? Can you respect my privacy? Next question, please. Next question, please. And now it looks as if Kyrie Irving has backed himself into a corner, or it looks as if he is being pushed into a corner. First of all, the state of New York has made it clear that players who are not vaccinated will not be able to play home games. This means that Kyrie Irving, being a Brooklyn Net, Brooklyn is in New York, Kyrie Irving will not be able to play in home games. I don't know the percentage of home games versus road games in the NBA. Let's just assume it's 50-50. That means there's a chance that Kyrie Irving could miss 50% of those games at home, number one. Number two, assuming the Brooklyn Nets do make it to the NBA playoffs, given the fact that they do still have a lot of talent with Kevin Durant, James Harden and others, but Blake Griffin and others, this means that there's a potential if Kyrie Irving does not get vaccinated, he could miss some playoff games, which I don't even want to begin to think about the implications of that, because I have never ever imagined or seen a situation in which a healthy player is missing playoff games due to a circumstance such as this. And you have other NBA players, other greats, coming out that have made their voices clear on this. For example, if you take Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar basically said that NBA players have an obligation as public figures or whatever it is, or role models, to go out there and make sure that they get vaccinated and send the right message. Now, obviously, some people are going to agree with what he said. Some people are going to disagree. I'm not here to get into that at all, because that's really not the essence of what I'm trying to discuss here. But Shaq recently came out or whatever, and he chimed in with his 2 cents, and he had some strong comments to make about Kyrie Irving's stance on not being vaccinated or not being forthcoming with his status about wanting to get vaccinated or whatever the case is. So before I go too far, I want to read some of what Shaq had to say. I'm getting this from CBSSports.com, so let me read it here. On the latest episode of Tiki and Tierney on CBS Sports Radio, CBS Sports Network, NBA legend Shaquille O'Neal was asked what would he do if Kyrie Irving were his teammate. I would go upstairs and say, get him up out of here. We can win with the 1-2 punch, a great shooter and rebounders we have. Because now every day we have to answer questions about him and what he's doing. Get his bleep up out of here. Whoever owns the Brooklyn Nets, get him out of here. Those were some strong comments from Shaq about Kyrie Irving not being vaccinated. My first takeaway from what Shaq had to say is this. I think Shaq is speaking, obviously, from the standpoint of a player, right? Given the fact that he said, I'll go upstairs, meaning go talk to management. I'm thinking Shaq is speaking from the standpoint that, number one, he's a basketball player, and he's a teammate of Kyrie Irving's, and he's saying basically, listen, man, I can't deal with this guy. We need to get him up out of here. Number two, I'm assuming Shaq is looking at himself as Shaq. So I'm assuming he's saying, if I was Shaq when I was playing, not just any other player, meaning I'm Shaquille O'Neal, I'll probably be the best player on the team, the most dominant player on the team, the number one option on the team. So I'm just going to go straight up to management and tell him, hey, listen, we need to get this guy the hell up out of here, right? That's essentially what I think Shaq is saying, or that's the vantage point from which I think Shaq is speaking from. Now, does Shaq have a right to his opinion? Absolutely. Why? Because he was asked the question. Shaquille O'Neal didn't ask himself the question. So if he's asked the question, he has the right to voice his opinions, whichever way he deems fit, right? And in this case, he said exactly what he thought. Now, some people may think that's a little bit too harsh, right? Because people are going to be like, wait a minute. You're telling me that you've gotten the vaccination, right? This guy doesn't want to get the vaccination. Why are you meddling in his business? And other people can say, but wait a minute, Shaq has a point. Shaq is he's part of the team and he wants to win and all of these different things. Other people can say, wait a minute, this is my personal decision. This is about my personal health. Who are you to tell me that the team's success supersedes that? And other people can say, well, you're an employee of the team. If you don't want to be a part of the team, if you don't want to jeopardize what we're doing, then get the hell off the team, retire, whatever it is, right? There's so many different ways to look at this thing, right? There's so many different ways. And I think a lot of people following this story have different opinions on it. We post some videos here and there. We post some polls here and there. And people have a range of emotions about this particular issue here. And it seems as if Shaq has taken his line in the sand, drawn his line in the sand. And Kyrie Irving, obviously, I don't think is going to be moved by any of those comments that Shaquille O'Neal made. However, what I want to know from you guys is, what would you do if you were in a position of Kyrie Irving? If you were him, what would you do? Especially given the fact that you are in that 5%. You're in the 5% minority that has not been vaccinated, right? So what I want to know from you guys, number one, what would you do if you were in a position of him? And obviously, given the fact that you're in a minority. And also, what do you think about the comments that Shaq had to make about Kyrie Irving. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, it's just Charles here from Dreamers Pro. Wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.